say it's a she? Yeah, she.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh! Straight through here.
Did you just skim the top of his head?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are nice horns on that one actually. They're really cool horns.
Yeah. I saw that white one going up there.
Yeah,
I was almost like, mate, you take that one, I'll take that one.
Right, yeah, which one are you going for?
Alright guys, welcome back. We're inside now with the goat that we harvested, so we've just gone through and chunked it up, nothing too fancy. I'll go through and just trim it now and get rid of a bit of the sinew and little bits and bobs that are left here. Now what I'm going to do is a dish that we normally do with goat, buttered goat. Now, you can do this with beef, you can do it with venison as well. I think it suits goat really well, especially with the younger goats, your nannies and whatnot, and all you really need is about 500 grams of goat, an onion, clove of garlic, optional is a bit of chili, then you've got nutmeg, turmeric, cumin and garam masala, cream or coconut cream. I like to use a bit of both, about 50 grams of butter and tomato paste or puree. I'll leave the complete recipe down in the description, but yeah, we'll get on with it. Alright, so what we'll start with doing guys is actually just going through and chopping the goat into smaller chunks. Again, it doesn't have to be very fancy, it's just really getting rid of, if you've left any sinew on there, which we did, it was getting dark by the time we started packing up. Alright guys, we've cut the goat up, just sort of cube it up into whatever size you like, sort of 1/2 inch to 1 inch depending. Now next we're going to add a teaspoon of the nutmeg, turmeric and cumin and the chili, which again is optional. We're going to add that to the meat, mix it all around, coat it, and then we'll set it aside and get working on the onions and garlics. Alright guys, so to the pan we're going to add 50 grams of butter, an onion and a clove of garlic. We're going to saute that now and get that all nice and ready. As soon as we've done that, we're going to put it aside into the pressure cooker and then we'll move on with the meat. We're really just trying to brown off the onions and garlic and get that sweetness. So like I say, 50 grams of butter, 1 onion and 1 clove of garlic. Alright, now that the onions and garlic are cooked, we're going to remove them, put them into the stock pot, pressure cooker, and then we'll start cooking our goat. Now it pays to actually batch fry this just so you get a nice sear on the outside. If you throw it all in at once, you end up broiling it. You don't want to do that. We are using a pressure cooker, so it doesn't really matter too much if you do broil it. I like a bit of a crust on the meat. It's down to personal preference. So we'll get this in here now in batches, and as we pull them in, you don't need to cook it through. It'll do that in the pressure cooker. It'll cook it all through. If you're not using a pressure cooker, that's absolutely fine. You're just going to have to simmer it, probably in a pot. We normally do it in a pot if we're simmering it, and then just simmer it until it's as tender as you really like, an hour, 2 hours, sometimes more. With a tender nanny like this one was, it doesn't take too long. I use the pressure cooker because it eases. This whole meal takes about 35-40 minutes. It's about as long as it takes to cook the rice in my rice cooker, so that's why I do it this way. So we've put all the ingredients now, the cooked ingredients, the goat, the onion, the garlic, all into the pressure cooker. All we're going to do now is add some coconut cream, a teaspoon of garam masala, and 2 tablespoons of tomato puree or tomato paste. Put the lid on it, hit stew, and that's all we need to do. Nice easy recipe to follow. Will be down below in the description. Give us a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.